to join in here. So I'm in a hotel in Koh Peach. It's like an area just south in Phnom Penh, and it translates to Diamond Island. It's kind of like, it's an island that's very, very close to the shore. So it's like the road just goes right there over the water because it's very, very close. And so it's not really a real island. But there's lots of cool architecture here, and I wanted to come. I have tomorrow off, so I thought I'd come do a staycation in the hotel. And then tomorrow morning I'm here, and then I can go walk around in the morning and show all the buildings and everything, do a review on the hotel, and then I think tomorrow afternoon there's a big outdoor mini golf here on this island that's really supposed to look really cool. And then all my friends from my Tesla course that I took the Tesla course with, and they've all become teachers now. I think we're all gonna meet at the mini golf place and do a round of mini golf, and I'll make a video on how you don't have to be so afraid that you can't make friends here, because especially if you take the Tesla course I took with AVSE, when the first day you're here, you get into the class and you have 10 friends instantly, all the people in your class, and they've all come alone and they're all in the same boat, and those most likely will end up being your friend, remain your friends. For me, it's been over a year now and I still know all of them. So that's happening tomorrow. Oh yeah, someone left a comment yesterday with a few questions. So it was, they wanted to know about banking. Like if you're coming here as an expat, what's the deal with banks and having a bank account? The other one was like cell phone that he asked, and the other thing was health insurance. Hey, so we can talk about those three things, or if you guys have any questions, just type them in. So banking, the main bank, there's a few banks here. The main one's called ABA. But I think if you're just visiting here or you've just arrived, I think you can't open a bank account. You have to one of the things you need is your at least to your apartment. So if you're just here in a hotel, you can't open a bank account. Usually also when you get a job at a school, they help you get the work permit, they help you set up the bank account because they need to direct deposit you the money. That's how it worked for me. After I got the job, they helped me set up a bank account. But before I had a job, I kept pulling out cash through ATMs from my Canada account. So I didn't have a bank account until I had a job. I think I remember messaging one of the banks early on and they said you have to live here for like 3 months to open a bank account, or show them a lease and that you have a job and everything, like if your job is vouching for you. And what's really cool, you might have seen me talk about that with ABA and a lot of the other banks. You have an app in your phone for your bank account, and everywhere out there, vendors, street vendors, food, restaurants, stores, anything, they'll have a QR code at their cash register, and with your phone you can just scan and pay debit, like by scanning your phone with ABA. And like that's honestly how I pay for most of the stuff, almost all the time. Even in a major store, like a grocery store, they'll take the debit machine and turn it to you, and instead of punching in something, it's just a picture of a QR code on their POS machine, and you take a picture of that QR, like you can use that QR code to scan. Cell phones really cheap. There's a few providers. When I got here, I started with one called Smart. It's one of the major ones, and I still have that same first SIM card that I first ever had. So I've always been with Smart, and it's about $1.50 a week. So what's that, like $6 a month? And that would get me like something like 25 gig or 20 gig of data. but there's certain plans and different rules where like I have a plan where you have this much limitations and all that stuff, but YouTube and Facebook are unlimited. So sometimes they have certain apps don't count towards your limit. So I'm on one where YouTube doesn't really count. So then, you know, if I'm watching anything on YouTube, I have way more gigs to spare. There's other cell phone companies though, and actually Smart's been being annoying lately. They haven't been, it's been cutting out. I don't know if it's because my phone's old, but every once in a while it's not working and I have to go airplane mode and wait 3 seconds and then put it back on and then it works again. And I do that probably 10 times in a day. Every time it's not working, I do that and it works again. But it could be my old phone. I think there's one called True Mobile. There's a few other ones. Met Phone is another one. Some new phones out there have 2 slots in your cell phone for SIM cards. So then there's some people where they'll put 2 different SIM cards. So if one's letting them down, they can flip over to the other one. I don't know. I don't have one like that, so I don't know. But yeah, people do that. What was the other thing? Hello. Oh, Chur Tom. So they said, hello, Chur Tom. If you don't know Chur, that's like the nickname for teacher. It's the last syllable of teacher. So that's like the nickname for teacher. It often sounds like cha though, C-H-A. They go, cha, morning cha, good afternoon cha. Thank you cha. That's what they just wrote here. Hello cha. I am super cool. That's right, I'm the coolest teacher they ever had. Well, these are different people. Nice. Do your homework. They've got a big, all my classes have a big field trip on Friday. They're going to a dairy farm in Cambodia. Room tour. So you guys wanna, I'm gonna do an official, like, full hotel tour tomorrow when it's not dark, because it's nighttime now, but I can just show you my room right now. Hang on. So I'll start over by the front door. So this is actually a hotel where I got the luxury room. It's called a luxury double with a terrace. And I was looking in a Goda app. That's an app where you can book hotels and stuff. And this room is usually about $60 a night. And there was a crazy deal where I got it for $25. It's nicer than my real apartment. And that's why they call this a terrace. It's much more space than a regular balcony. Right, it's not just a place where you can just stand. It's like you could have like 10 people out here. There's like a room divider. So this place is called CA and SA Apartment and Residence. So it's like an apartment building that I guess in their empty rooms they rent them as if they're hotel rooms, even though it's like an apartment. So I've got a washing machine. I actually brought my dirty laundry I had because I was like, might as well, if I'm paying for this room, might as well use the machine. Then I don't have to pay for laundry like at another place later this week or whatever. I've got a load done now. And it was really cool. I was thinking, oh, because I'm leaving tomorrow, is there going to be enough time to take everything out of here and like dry it out there on the balcony? But this machine is a washer and a dryer. So I pushed one button and for like 20 minutes it washed everything and then it made a noise, and then it started spinning the other way, and then it was a dryer, and I never had to even push another button or take anything out. So then, when it's all said and done, like 45 minutes later, I opened it up, and it's just clean, dry clothes in there. So it's a washer and a dryer. It's like a little living room area. So it's pretty crazy. This was only $25. If you had 2 people, it would be only like $12 each. But this room is usually, and then when I was at the front desk, I could see all the prices, and it's the price, and usually in person, that's where you'd see it cheapest, like not online. And so the price down on the desk, it said $45.99. So I'm getting it like $21 cheaper. It's almost half. And for the online price, it's more than half off. So it was a good deal. Oh. But now that I think about it, it's not really, but I'm always watching my money, and so it was kind of a waste of money to get this. I didn't really need it. Like, I have an apartment in the city anyways. So I could have, if I really wanted, I could have woke up at like 5 in the morning and not got a hotel, like just went to my apartment right now, and then early in the morning wake up and come to this area super early in the morning, and I could have still accomplished all the videos, like except for this video right now in the hotel. Everything I want to do tomorrow, I could have still done everything tomorrow if I didn't stay in this hotel. But it's cool to try out. Then you guys can see what hotels look like here, or if you're gonna come here. If you really look in the apps for a good deal, you could get a place like this for just $20, $25. Oh, and the roof has a rooftop pool and a whole area up there. Because it's nighttime, I didn't really go there yet. So tomorrow it won't be live, it'll be a proper video. I'm gonna make a real video on the whole hotel. So the lobby, the outside, the roof, the room, everything. And then I'm gonna make one on all the buildings, and then I'll do the mini golf video on showing you how it's really easy to make friends here. So earlier I talked about bank accounts, and then I talked about cell phones. The last thing that another guy was asking was about health insurance. There's one really cheap one I found, and now I'm not a part of it anymore, because when you get a job, often you'll get health benefits. So I have health insurance now just as a teacher, so I canceled my travel insurance. But I found a really cheap one that I found other YouTubers were using. But out of the 2 people I saw that were using it, and me also, none of us have ever gotten hurt yet. So I don't know what it's like when you try to claim something expensive. Are they good at paying it or not? Like, I have no idea. I've had the coverage and never had to use it. So I have a person just wrote that their students call them chur as well, or cha, and he says he calls them dents, because that's like the last syllable of student. But yeah, so this health insurance, so the one I had was called Safety Wing. Safety Wing. And it was like, they have really cheap options, and you can do it in any country, anywhere. It's meant for like people that are traveling. I think it's called Nomad Insurance. And I remember it was only like $45 a month or something like that. But there is a deductible. So if something happens, then you have to pay the first whatever. I forget what the deductible was, 200 or 150 or something. And then they would cover the rest. But I don't know if they're actually good at covering. But for as far as health insurance goes, like $40 a month is really cheap, I think, compared to a lot of the other ones out there, I'm pretty sure. So at least look into it. Safety Wing. If you don't know, if you're already looking at a few and you haven't seen Safety Wing, maybe include that into your considerations and see if how it compares to the other ones you're looking at. Dents. Yeah. How's all my dents doing? Oh, wow. Yeah, it's a holiday tomorrow. That's why a lot of people booked a few days off around tomorrow so that they could have the week. Like, imagine if they booked Monday, Tuesday, they could have had the weekend plus Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday's a holiday. So a lot of people were booking their days around this day off to make it a really long weekend. But oh, it costs money to go on a trip, and so I was trying to like do something fun, but keep it local so it's not like really hitting the bank that hard. So I was like, oh, I'll do a staycation and do a review on a hotel for YouTube. I started looking, can I find a deal? And then, as I said, I found this, like, they really make it sound better. Luxury double with a terrace, and ooh, they really, in the title, make it sound amazing. It's really just like a nice apartment. That's what it looks like. But I was all like, wow, a luxury double. You have to scroll past all the loser rooms down to the more expensive luxury double room. Wow. And it was only 25, so I jumped on it. Is it hard being a teacher? It's not. I find it really easy. And it's fun. The hotel and room number. No, don't send me gifts. Who knows what you're gonna send me? But the hotel's called, it's the letter CA, and then an ampersand, and then SA. So CA and SA. Serviced apartments. That's what it's called. CA and SA, service apartments. Where are you from? I'm from Toronto, Canada. Toronto. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel and check out my playlists. I've made different playlists for like different towns I've visited in Cambodia. So I have a whole bunch from Siem Reap. I have some from Battambang. I have some from Kampot and Kep, and then I have a playlist that's how to. So it's like how to get a job or how to find an apartment and how to find work clothes for your interview and how to. I have a whole playlist for that, and I have, check out the playlist sections. I've got it organized into useful sections. Okay, let's see what you're writing here. Considering moving there for a while. They're wondering about bringing young kids here. Is it because it's a developing country, or should they be worried about diseases and like food bacteria and stuff? Well, it's a possibility. I've never met anyone that got seriously injured. It's like everyone goes through when you move here, and it's within the first month or so, everyone gets hit once with your stomach adjusting. It doesn't necessarily mean you ate something dirty. It just means your gut bacteria is like, holy crap, what the heck is this other bacteria we've never seen before? And then you have diarrhea for like a week. So, and then after that, that happened. So that happened to me once when I first came, and then I've been totally fine since then. In rain season, it can get pretty crazy. Like with flooding, I can imagine you like having to hang on to your 3-year-old when you're walking through like knee-deep water just in the streets. Like it floods pretty bad in the rain season. What's going on here? Just found you. Recommended on YouTube. Do you follow Billy Blue or Vlogging a Dead Horse? No, I don't. I don't know those two channels. What's your favorite Khmer food? I love it's just like a beef soup. It's a soup with rice noodles in it and beef with beef balls. So it would usually be called, beef rice noodle soup or beef rice noodle with beef ball soup, something like that. It's very simple. It's often what they eat for breakfast, but you can order it anytime. It's kind of like, if you know what pho is, it's somewhat similar, but pho is a little bit nicer. It takes way longer to make that broth, and it's a bit more quality in terms of when they cut really nice meat in the pho and everything. But if you don't know what I'm talking about at all, and you know pho, it's a distant relative to pho. It's like this beef, a more simpler version of pho, kind of. And I really like that. What else do you have here? And you can buy that for like $1.25 here. Have you been making an effort to learn Khmer? No, unfortunately, I feel guilty about that. I know very little. I know like thank you, and then like that's it. And in uh, in class, I can tell them to sit down, and that's about it, or like be quiet. But they speak English anyways. So Nick says you may get a small food reaction, but that's conducive with any new traveling. If you're used to American food, your stomach won't be used to Cambodian food. Yeah, that's what I was saying. So it doesn't mean you have to go back to that restaurant and yell at them. Like they did a perfect job. It's just you're not used to what's going on over here. Do we have a quiz on Thursday, teacher? No. No, we don't. Still trying to mark the other ones. Nick has Crohn's, so it gets messy. Well, that's a little crazy. Do you take motorbike trips? I haven't got a motorbike yet. I've always been just taking tuk-tuks everywhere. I feel like I'd be ready now, but when I first moved here, I thought it's not worth getting injured. The traffic is so insanely crazy. People just drive in all directions at all times. Like there's no right side of the road or rules or anything. And I know one guy that got hit by a car, and like it's just it's not even worth it. But it's worth it money wise. You'd save money if you have your own bike. But I just know I'll have one fall that won't even be that bad, but then I'll be limping forever or something. Or I can't turn my neck all the way or something. Like something, I just don't feel like it. If I lived in any other city, I probably would get one to fart around on a little scooter, but it's so busy in Phnom Penh. If I was in a small town or a quieter place, I would definitely get one. No problem. Pass on the word. I'm trying to grow this channel. It's really super small, and I'm not even monetized. So I actually put a lot of work into it, and YouTube's just keeping all of any money they get. It's my favorite tourist destination. In Cambodia, or right on. Buy me some beers. It's my favorite tourist destination. I guess I've visited a few places in Cambodia. I really liked. I liked the Killing Caves. I visited Battambang. It's a town about an hour away from Siem Reap, and I went to a crocodile farm there, and I went to Killing Caves, and then they have this thing. I didn't do it, but you can go at dusk to the opening of a cave, and literally like 2 million bats fly out of there. And it takes like a half an hour for them all to get out, and that happens every night. So there's tours where you can go watch, and it's supposed to be amazing because you never see that many at once, like and then they fly around in swarms like in the sky and stuff. But because it's dark, if you're filming that from far away, it would look like a bunch of black dots on a black sky, like you wouldn't even be able to see it. So I thought the crocodile farm was cooler. But when I left Battambang, I thought, wow, that's a cool little town where you go. It's kind of like a small town where you might think, oh, there's nothing happening here. But the little tours you can do, all of them are really cool compared to other places. So it's like the crocodile farm was cool. The Killing Caves are cool. You go to this crazy cave that has these history of when the Khmer Rouge happened, and it's like horrible stories when they would murder people and throw them into a hole like in the ceiling of a cave, and they fall down into the cave, and that's where throw the bodies in there, and you can go into those caves. And I have videos on all this stuff. If you check after this, if you check my playlist and look at Battambang, then there's 3 videos I think there of that stuff. Angkor Wat, that's pretty amazing too, like breathtaking. And I went to Kep too. It was nice, but it wasn't really like blowing your mind or anything. Nick's got to head out for work. See you later, dude. What part of PP were you in for your last video? Looked a bit sketchy. Yeah. So it was like the far south end. I don't know what it's called, but it's getting close in the direction of. There's a little village called Tak Mau, and it's like not quite that far, but it's the really. If you're looking at a map of Phnom Penh, it's like the bottom right corner, like really down low, south. What's funny though is the food festival video, like I walked through that sketchy market to get to the food festival, and when you get to that food festival, it's big, high-rise, modern condos development of like probably only fancy rich people live there. And you walk out of there and go down the very first alley right beside, and it's like the like extremely poor people like living right in the alley beside the condo development. And I walked through there. The latest video I posted, I guess it was this morning. I posted that this morning, so maybe like 12 hours ago. It's me walking through like a back alley, local streets of a back alley market. It's a pretty cool video, and like a traffic jam happens while I'm in there. Have you thought of going to North Korea? No, I've thought of South Korea. I don't know what. I didn't know. I thought North Korea might take us some more paperwork to get into there, right? That's a serious place. I've thought of Korea. If I had a degree, I probably would have done like a teaching in Korea, because some countries will pay for your flight there. They'll pay for your living expenses while you're living there, and pay you to be a teacher. So your apartment's free. I think China does that, Korea does that, but you have to have a degree, and I don't have a degree, so that's why I'm in Cambodia. I think so. Someone's asking, is there colleges or universities in Asia here that would teach classes in English, so that if you're English speaking and you're living here, you could get a degree or a diploma? I think you can. People have suggested that. So I've talked about working in Vietnam maybe, but you need a degree to work there. And some people are saying, hey, while you're in Cambodia, just slowly work on a degree in anything, and then even online or part-time classes, and then eventually you'll get it, and then you could move into Vietnam. What are people saying here? What about Indonesia? Have you thought of going there? Yeah, I want to visit there. That's where Bali is, right? Everyone that does little trips to Bali says it's amazing, so I want to maybe visit there on a trip one day. Cambodia is experienced on a motorbike. Learn the flow of traffic and you will be fine. Yeah, that's right. Even on foot, you have to have that mentality. Like, I'm waiting to cross the street, and there's never ever a time where it's clear. Like, you have to just throw yourself into the traffic and then move along with it like liquid, and then one person moves out of the way and now you're an inch closer, and then that swirls around and someone moves that way, and now you can take one more step, and then you're across. And everyone is being careful in that same regard, so it's like just shifting blocks around until everyone gets shifted around to where they need to be. Yeah, someone said they even drive on sidewalks. They totally do, yeah. Like anywhere where they can, it's easy on a little more, but they hop the curb, and then they'll go around anywhere. Sometimes if you're walking on a sidewalk and you're about to turn a corner, you need to like put your back against the wall and turn your head around the corner and check first, because someone could be like ripping on a bike, trying to skip the traffic, like cut the corner, and they do a quick rev to get around the corner, and that's right when you're taking a step and you'd be run over. Bali is amazing. Next door is Lombok. It's like Bali 40 years ago. But again, it's best on a motorbike. That's the kind of place I would get a motorbike, where you're not with 100 other motorbikes crammed in like sardines. Sure. Try going to the aquarium near Siem Reap. Maybe. Trying to see how much battery I have left. Doesn't even say. I've got 17. Let me see if I can plug this thing in. All right, we're charging. So I'm getting some advice here. Just go really slow, stay to the right, and turn your head backwards to look before turning. Yeah, and let the local people go around you. That's often what I find, even on foot too. To be safe, you just gotta wait. Sometimes you want to go, and it's like, oh, well, that guy's coming, and then that way's not clear, and there's no way that's clear, and you feel like, oh, well, I can't wait here forever, and you start, like, just take a breath and go, well, maybe I'll just stand here for 3 minutes, 3 full minutes. Like, don't even put pressure on yourself. Take a breath and look around, and then the whole crowd is passed, and you're like, well, now it's wide open. Then you can just stroll nice and easy, and you don't have to, like, stress yourself and run out at the worst time. Like, just wait 30 seconds, and it's totally clear. Just chill. Don't be impatient. Bali is super crowded and small roads. Lombok, much more enjoyable. Plus, Mount Rinjani. Yeah, they enjoy going the wrong way on one-way streets. Yeah, they go the wrong way on any street, because if their destination is on that side of the street, even if it's the wrong way, the wrong side from the beyond, they don't want to cross over to the right side just to follow the rules, so that when they get to where they need to be, they have to cross back over again to get off their bike. So they're like, whatever, my destination's on this wrong side of the road, so because of that, I'm driving on this side of the road, and I don't give a shit who's in my way or like, what the rules are. They're too lazy to cross over to the right side of the road, drive, and then cross over to park. Like, they'd rather just stay on the wrong side of the road because they're lazy to do the extra steps to drive safely. Fun Mall in Cambodia. Yeah, that's really close to me where I live, actually. It's not close to me right now, but it's close to my apartment. Jules is about to buy a bicycle, and he lives in Phnom Penh too. That's real cool, Jules. I've been thinking about a bicycle too. It's just, I don't know. I have a feeling I'd use it like once and then never use it. What time is it where you are? Everybody unless you're in Cambodia. Actually, I don't even care. Everybody write like where you are and what time it is. I'm always interested in that. I always wonder when I'm about to start a live stream, I think, is this even a good time? Like, what time is it for most of my viewers who would be watching it? Is it 3 in the morning and they're all asleep and no one's gonna watch it, or is this a good time? This actually seems pretty good. I have 13 people in here right now, and I think at one point it was a little higher than that even. So it seems like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Right now it's like 10:30 my time, 10:40. Yeah, those people writing 10:39, they must be in Cambodia-ish. How many hours a day do you spend lesson planning? It's not per day, so I make my lesson plans for the week like a week ahead of time, and I have to make 4 in a week. So it's like every Monday I make 4, and I send them in to my boss. That's going to be I have a plan for a video. That's going to be a video coming up. I have a lot of marking to do right now. So I was going to like cover up the student's name and information, but then show what kind of questions that they're getting in a test in grade 8. And you can see what kind of answers I'm getting as the teacher and watch me mark it. I'll videotape myself marking it, and we'll look at some of the examples. 'Cause I'm sure if you're thinking about being a teacher, you're like, what are you teaching them? What does it even look like? Yeah, you say you have marking. What exactly is that like? You know what I mean? So I'll videotape myself marking a test or something and just cover up their name and cover up all their stuff, but you can see this. And then also in the same video, so I'll mark a test together on video, and then I'll scroll through one of my lesson plans and talk my way through it bit by bit, so you can see how it's structured and what I write in there and how long it takes me. What makes things quicker too is once you've done a lot of lesson plans, like let's say 3 months worth or a month or two worth, because there's different kinds of lessons. Sometimes you're doing a reading lesson, sometimes you're doing a vocabulary lesson, and sometimes it's a grammar lesson, or sometimes it's like a writing type of lesson. Those are the main ones usually, like reading, writing, vocabulary, or grammar. So it's going to be like one of those. So if I've already spent an hour or two making a really nice grammar lesson plan that's for some type of grammar rule that we're learning, then like 3 weeks later, we're learning, oh, now it's time for me to make the plan for the next grammar thing we're learning. Oh, phrasal verbs or something. So what I would do in my computer is go open up the lesson plan from 3 weeks ago, but don't pick just any one, pick the one that was a grammar lesson, because that's the one, we're doing that type now. And then if you choose the same type of lesson, then you just have to go open it and change little details about it. So instead of unit 8 adjectives, it'll say unit 9 for phrasal verbs, and then the next bunch of chunks I could just leave them as the same and then update what page numbers in the textbook, because now we're at a later page. I think you get it, right? Open up an old one and modify it, and then that will take you like 15 minutes per lesson plan. So you could spend like an hour and a half doing one, but once you have a few, then you can modify ones that are very close to the one you're trying to make, and then that only takes like 15 minutes per plan to modify them. So now I can do like 4 in 1 hour. So all my lesson planning for the week is like when I have a free period on a Monday, I do all 4 and send it to her, and then done. Next. Do you think you can teach there long term? Yeah, big time. It's an amazing life. Don't change. We like you as our teacher. You're one of the coolest English teacher. Hear that, everybody? I'm not only influencing you people, I'm influencing young minds. And I'm cool. I'm the coolest. Oh, what else you guys want to know? I might end this thing now. I'm running out of stuff to say. I've set all my ideas for videos I'm doing soon. I think that marking, like teacher admin, is a great idea for a video. If I can remember myself when I was about to leave Canada to come here. If I had saw a video like that, I would click on that for sure. I would want to know what kind of work am I in for when I get there, that kind of thing. How's the snow in Canada? It's actually bad, right? They just got hit with a snowstorm really badly a couple days ago, actually. It's probably like 30 centimeters or something, like very deep. Here the temperature is like at the coldest, it's like 21 or 22 in the coldest part of the night, and it probably doesn't even go that low. It's more like 26 or something at the coldest. And then in the middle of the day, it'll go up to like 34. And that's just every day. There's no change in season. And then at like 4 months of the year, it rains every day. That's rain season. But the temperatures is always from like in the mid-20s when it's cold, and then mid-30s by the hottest part of the day. Yeah, all the interesting stuff's coming up. So tomorrow, hotel review, and then all these cool, in this area on this island out there, it's like big stone buildings and archways, and it looks like French architecture, looks like you're in Europe. So hotel review, crazy buildings, and then I'm gonna do the outdoor cool mini golf, like making friends in Cambodia video tomorrow. What do you got here? Do you think 4,000 USD is enough to last me a few months in Cambodia while looking for a job? Yep. Your living expense might be more because if you don't get an apartment, like if you live in a hotel while you're waiting for a job, that's way more expensive. What I would suggest is get an apartment, because then your rent is like 250. Like you could probably live off easily 1,000 a month. So 4,000 should last you 4 months. But you could do it for 800 a month or less. Even depends how you spend, right? It doesn't. If you're able to, if you're not picky eater, if you want to have the exact Western life that you're used to in the Western world, it's more expensive. Like Burger King would cost like $10 for a combo, or you could get a Kamai meal for like $1.50. So picture how that could add up every day in a month. How's the Wi-Fi? It just depends where you are. Like, it's fine. Like if you're paying for your own Wi-Fi and that you've set up in your apartment, it's be fine, no problems. But, sometimes you're in, like at school, I'm in classrooms and the Wi-Fi is not reaching us, or because they don't have a separate one in each room in my school, so it's like there's times where you're fighting for signal, and the data will. I've tried to do lives before where it keeps reconnecting and cutting out, and I think might be my phone, or the data is crap a little bit, but yeah. But if you have like legit Wi-Fi that you've set up yourself, it should be no problem. What's your favorite store to shop for clothes? Well, I haven't shopped for clothes here, really. I bought a few things for work at a place called Zando. There's a store here called Zando with a Z. Zando, and it's very similar to H&M. If you know that store, it's like when you walk into Zando, it feels like you're inside H&M. And then that's a good place to get work clothes. And Zando, they also have a store that's called 1011. So it's the word 10 and then 11. So TEN 11, 1011. And 1011 and Zando, it's like the exact same store. They even sell the same things and it's the same owner. I don't know why they put two names. It's kind of like in America, they have Winners and Marshalls. Or I don't know if that's only Canada. But in Canada, and I think also America, there's a store called Winners and a store called Marshalls, and they sell the exact same stuff. That's like Zando and 1011. Pencil Market. Oh, my mom joined the chat. I'm about to end it, so you're late. Everybody say hi to Mama Tom. Mom trips out. I have students in here saying I'm the coolest. Hi, Mama. So maybe I did a little walk around my hotel room here, but there might be new people in the chat now. So let's see one more time. So I've already done this, but this is the hotel room I'm in. It's supposed to be like 60 a night, but I got it for 25. It's a luxury double with a terrace. That's what they called it. And I actually brought a load of dirty laundry to do while I'm here. I did it already. And this machine, I was all worried about, will it dry in time by tomorrow when I hang it outside and stuff, but this machine is a dryer as well. So the wash cycle finishes, you hear a noise like the water draining out, and then it's, and then it's a dryer and it dries it. So like after 45 minutes, I just pulled out dry clothes right out of there. What street am I? So there's like a living room area here, and then the bed. And then There's a big terrace out here. You can almost see the stone buildings in the distance over here. I'm gonna walk and show all of this tomorrow, but there's like these stone archways and crazy architecture. So I'm on Diamond Island, or it's called Koh Pitch. I think my street is called Harvard Street, like the Ivy School, Harvard. Yeah, it's almost 11 at night now. That's why it's dark. So this is like an apartment building where they're selling it like a hotel, like they're renting out the rooms like a hotel. Yeah, Casa Meridian's right beside me. I saw on the map when I was ordering food. So I'm right beside Casa Meridian. I'm in the building right beside it. Someone asked if I worked out because I look jacked. And I've never worked out in my life. I've never even been in a gym to even look at it. So, Coconut Park is nice. Yeah, I've been there for one of their night markets, and my band might play a show there at Coconut Park. I get my huge muscles from my mom and my mustache. What's the nightlife like in Phnom Penh? It's alive. It's strong, especially on weekends. I made a video called Nightlife in Cambodia just like 2-3 weeks ago. So if you look through my videos, there's one called Nightlife. And it's in the thumbnail, it's big yellow letters that are glowing that say Nightlife. I show Basak Lane. It's like an area with a ton of little clubs and bars and stuff. Yeah, and back streets in that area too. Yeah, I do know Aaron. Well, we don't know each other well. I think he doesn't know me, but I know him. I know who he is. He owns that Sundance place. Tom, do you have a business email? I have some friends that are thinking of going out to Cambodia to teach. Just send them, direct them to I have a Tom Trips Out Instagram, and they can message me there. It's tom.tripsout. And the logo will look the same as this logo. Or, yeah, I just played at Craft last weekend. Sorry, so I'm answering different questions. Someone just asked if I played Craft. That was my most recent show, actually, was at Craft. It's a nice little place. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, you're asking, you have friends that might want to teach, so they can reach out to me anywhere on YouTube. I have a Facebook. I have, there's a Tom Trip Out page on Facebook, and then there's an Instagram, and so all those places they could message me, and even on any comment on any video. I'm such a small channel that I answer and read all my comments. I don't even get one every single day. Yeah, Planta's right next to Craft, that's right. Yeah, so they can just message me in any way. I bet you that the Instagram messaging is probably the best one, right? That's what most people like to do. Then they don't have to give me their phone number or anything. We can just chit chat on there. But they might want to see the YouTube. You should. I would recommend sending them the YouTube, and then they can message me on Instagram if they want an instant reply. There's a lot of good info. I've been putting a lot of work into this videos and stuff, so. This Friday, big event at Seekers for Holi Festival. Hey. Wow, There's so many people in the room. Now there's 18. I was about to finish it. Maybe we'll keep her going. I'm just worried I'm like sitting in the same spot and I'm running out of things to say, so it's not exciting for you guys. I'm famous. I'm trying to block that glare behind my head. There we go. 18 people. And it's probably not the same 18 as before. Like before we had 14. So I bet you like all together there might have been like 25 different people in here today. Filtering in and out, maybe more. Is there anyone who just joined in the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes that wants to know something or ask something? Because we were running out of stuff to talk about in here, kind of. What's the toughest part for you moving to KH, like Cambodia? The hardest thing, I don't know. It's the hardest thing I would imagine is well, probably the culture shock. It wasn't hard for me though, like I did feel it, but it didn't send me home or anything. And then the other thing is, but it's my own fault because you could really make friends. The other friends I've made in the TEFL course are really close with each other and they hang out like every night. And I'm a little more introverted and I separate myself a little bit. And so I spend a lot of my time completely alone all the time. So it can be really lonely, but like I do that to myself pretty much. So it's not like I have every opportunity. Like tomorrow I'm going to hang out with all those people. We'll look like a big crew of friends and everything, but often I do everything alone. When I do all these trips and all those playlists I was telling you about and all those cities, I'm 100% alone the 100% of the time, all the time. So I can, like, I'm looking forward to visiting Canada again so that I could see my friends and stuff. Is food poisoning a big thing out there? No, not really. I mentioned that earlier. Like when you first get here, your body has to adjust to the different gut bacteria and stuff. So you'll get diarrhea once, and then you'll get over it, and then you'll be good from then on. Can you talk about the health of Cambodia economy? I think it's picking up. It's not good, right? It's a developing country. Everything's so cheap here because they're so poor. I think they make on average like 200 a month, local people, and they have to try to live off that. So that's like their economy. Can you sit outside in your balcony? I sat out there earlier for like 10 minutes and I didn't even feel one mosquito or see any, which is weird. Right now, mosquitoes are really bad in general. Like if you're out, if I went down, took the elevator down and went out on the street, like on the front steps of this thing and stood there, I would get 2 or 3 mosquito bites in 5 minutes. Like just standing, if I stood still and didn't keep an eye on my legs, you'd get 2 or 3. Right now it's pretty bad, but I guess I'm on floor 7, so I might be high enough up that, I don't know, I just sat out there for about 10, 15 minutes. I didn't see one, I didn't feel one, so it's fine out there right now. It's got high glass walls. I don't know if that helps keep them away, like around the terrace out there. Because at my apartment that I live in, I'm on floor 12. It's almost twice as high as this, and if I leave the window open, I'll get 1 or 2 mosquitoes come in, like I'll notice one mosquito and then I look over quickly and I'm like, I left the window open, and I go shut it. Like, so I'm thinking right now I'm on floor 7. Maybe that's why I'm too high up. But I'm at the other place. I'm on 12 and they get in. So I don't know. But yeah, this terrace was mosquito free when I just sat on it now. Let's see. Have you not got a girlfriend or a boyfriend there yet? No. It would be a girlfriend, but I don't have one yet. Do the repellents actually work? Yeah, I think they really help a lot. I don't wear it a lot because I don't like if I was going somewhere outdoorsy, then maybe I would definitely put it on, but just day to day, I don't wear it. I brought some with me from home, from Canada, like good camping kind, and I would spray it all over myself, and I noticed I would get a headache. I think it's from like my skin absorbing it. It's not even from smelling it getting a headache. It's like seeping into my skin and making me feel like shit, so I stopped spraying it on. No screen doors or windows. I don't think there is a screen door. No, there's no screen, but you would never ever want to leave it open. It's humid. Well, it's zoomed in. What about healthcare? Is it affordable? And do you feel comfortable going to a hospital in Cambodia if you have a medical emergency? I've never had to do anything, but other people have, and they've told me it's not that expensive, but it's a big money grab every step. It's like you come in the door and they'll want you to do a COVID test, which at a pharmacy, if you bought your own, it costs about $2, but they charge you $20 at the hospital. And if you said, I just bought this COVID test at the pharmacy outside and it's still sealed and everything, and you're like, I'll open it and do it in front of you right now, and they'll say, no, you have to buy ours. Like, and they just smile at you like, cha-ching, we want your $20 just to be able to sit in the waiting room. I don't know if they do that anymore because maybe COVID's out the window now, but I was hearing that from some of my friends that were sick and went to the hospital. And then you get charged for stuff, but whatever they do. But for instance, I just talked to my friend who he got hit by a car. He was riding a scooter and he got hit by a car really badly. Like his hip was located, he looks different. He looks like a different person now. And he broke his collarbone and his hip was dislocated and he had to get taken to the hospital, and then he spent like 5 or 6 days in the hospital and 2 surgeries. And the whole total of everything cost him $1,000, which I think in the big grand scheme of things could be a lot worse. Like that's not even that bad, I think, for 2 surgeries and 5 days in a hospital. If you compare that to the States, that's not bad. Yeah, he let the car hit him. I don't know about all that. He just looked, you couldn't even recognize him almost. And we're like, whoa, what happened? And he said he got hit by a car. He just remembers getting picked up off the pavement. Like, yeah, I talked about health insurance like in the start of this video, but I have it through my work. But I've heard people, like, how do I know how much they cover, or what if something really expensive happens to me and yeah, my work will cover, like you never know what it'll be. And I had travel insurance with a place called Safety Wing, but I canceled that now that I have my work one. The key is just be really careful all the time and don't get hurt. Like when I went to those caves, there was a second cave that looked like a really steep opening that went straight down. I just walked up to the edge of it and I looked and I was like, nope. Can you imagine? I'm like an hour walk from when I was in those caves, I was like an hour walk just from the first remote road that's still remote. And then, like, imagine if I had fell down into that cave, it would be impossible to get help. And then if you ever did, then you'd have to pay for that too. I was like, no, I'll walk away. Yeah, see what they're saying? A surgery like that, 2 surgeries from a car accident and a bunch of days in a hospital could be like 50 grand in the States. So for 1,000, he got off pretty easy. Yeah, he is okay. Thailand has some of the best private and most affordable hospitals in the world. Yeah, that's where, if you have something really serious, often they won't even do it in Cambodia. They'll take you to Thailand, like if it's a big time surgery or something crazy. How dangerous is Riverside at night? I've only heard stories. I don't really walk around there at night, but Depends what you mean at night. Like it's pitch black here by 6:30 p.m. So that's only dinner time, but it's like sun's completely gone by 6:30. So if you could just be grabbing some food and walking along Riverside back to your apartment at 6:30, and you might not call that nighttime. It's not like 9 or 10 at night. So like I've been around Riverside at 7 or 8, but not at like 1 in the morning. But I've heard those places, and especially they target drunk, wobbly people. Like you're drunk standing there or wobbling around, and then they'll come and just pick your pockets, or girls come in, oh, handsome man, and they come hug you, and meanwhile they're feeling all the stuff you have, and sometimes they'll blatantly, like they're smiling and reaching in your pockets, and you're like, it's almost like you're play fighting, like, no, get out. You can physically see them in your pockets, like, no, get out of my pockets, and they're giggling, ah ha ha ha. And they're putting their hands back in your pockets, and you're like, no, don't do that, but you're hammered, and it's like 2 in the morning, and then they pull out your phone and your wallet and stuff, and then you're like, no, 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 and they end up taking it, like, yeah, on Riverside. I've heard of that, like getting pickpocketed, but not even secretly. It's like they pickpocket you to your face. I guess that's like mugging. That's what mugging is. Middle of the day last month, I chased down a bag thief who snatched an old guy's backpack on Riverside. So there you go. There's a story. I hear stories like that too. And phone snatchings are a big common thing here too. You'll be like on a phone call and someone just takes it and scooter rides away, and you're standing there in shock. Like, have you ever heard of the Cambodian people being concerned about the current political situation with USA and China? No, I haven't. No one talks about USA at all here. Not one bit. It's like they don't exist. And China, it's like an underlying, unwritten thing that they don't really like the Chinese people here. Never use your phone in the street or leave it on a table in a bar. Exactly. Or watch your surroundings while you're using it. Or sometimes in a tuk-tuk, I hold it with both my hands, like if I have to look at it or something. I'd like to see them though reach in, like they'd have to be pretty brave. If I got a hold of imagine they lean into a tuk-tuk from the side, and then you get a hold of their shirt, that would just be like, they'd have a bleeding face, like for sure. But it's not even worth fighting because you don't know what state they're in or who they know, and then even if you win the fight, then the next day you'll get a lead pipe in the back of your head or something. So if you get your phone stolen, you should just watch it drive away, and like just be thankful you didn't get clubbed in the head or something. And don't put anything too risky on your phone, that like all your crypto or something. Don't do that. Yeah, see, it's not even worth fighting. And then the police don't help you. You go make a police report, they don't care. Or they act like they don't care, kind of like your cue for a bribe. They're kind of saying, well, we can't really do anything, but and then if you bribe them, maybe there's a chance they'll go look. But in their hearts, from the people I've known that got their phone stolen, and I know like 3 or 4 people, and they went to the police, they got the feeling from the police, this is what they said, they felt that the police were on the side of the local people that stole the phone, because they're imagining like that person did that so that they could feed their family or maybe pay their rent that month or get by. And the police will sympathize way more with the local person who stole your phone to survive than they're not going to sympathize with you. You're like a rich white person that, oh, I lost my iPhone. They couldn't give a shit about you and your rich iPhone life. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe if you bribe them. So if your phone gets stolen, it's gone. What are you guys saying here? So they've been to Cambodia 4 times and they've never seen a police officer. Yeah, there's a really weak presence. Like they're never around. They're more like sometimes you'll see them when there's a need to direct traffic or something. They're never like doing police stuff actually. The police are basically a private contractor, so you need to pay. Yeah. You have to bribe the police to help you. Exactly. So Real Cool Jules is basically backing up what I was just saying. Because you're basically asking them to go against their own people, even though they did some. Those people stole your phone, but he's got to look at his own Khmer fellow men in the eyes and throw them in jail, and then give the rich white guy his phone back. Like, it doesn't feel like justice to them, probably. So now we're down to just 11 people in the room. So maybe we're winding down. And I almost ended it, but then like 8 people joined, and so we kept it rolling. But now it's been an hour and 6 minutes now. Maybe we'll stop it here. I'm getting tired, and it's like 11, almost 11:30. But yeah, tomorrow I'm making like 3 videos, and there's more coming. I still have to do a live where I'm gonna walk through a mall. Someone's been asking about what do the malls look like here, and then I'm gonna someday coming up, not tomorrow, but in the next week or two, I'm gonna make a video where I show what marking a test looks like. Like I'll cover up the student's name and info and stuff, but then you can see what kind of questions they're getting and then what kind of answers they're giving me, and watch how I mark. And then I'll also scroll through a lesson plan, and you can see how I build that and structure it, and how easy it is to then in the future, if you're doing a similar lesson, you can just make a copy of that lesson plan and change a few page numbers and modify it a little. And yeah, I think someone's asking, do you think I could live in Cambodia forever? You could. I don't know if I will, but like it's like really easy to live here. I don't know. If not Cambodia, it'd be somewhere similar, somewhere around Southeast Asia. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it now. So that's it for this episode. Hit the subscribe button, like it, share it. Remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.